Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm gonna do a video of my first water change on a 75-gallon tank. I just wanted to show you guys my RODI unit from Bulk Reef Supply. It is the 5-stage plus water saver, 150 gallons per day system. I'm glad I bought this. This system works really well. As you can see, I have this thing hooked up with nothing but zip ties. Zip ties are my go-to in this hobby. I use zip ties for everything and they work perfect. You can get heavy-duty zip ties, regular zip ties. They all work and they all serve a purpose. This is where I keep my water. Got that thing filled up. It holds 32 gallons of water. Nice brute garbage can. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of wastewater to good water. So, which is really good compared to my old unit. It was 4-to-1. This is 1-to-1. It works perfect. If anybody's gonna buy a RODI unit, this is the one to get. Yes, it is on the expensive side, about $280, but it comes with everything. All you gotta do is put it on your wall if you want to. You don't even have to do that, and hook it up to your hose line. That's all I did. All the wires already came together like that, and yep, guys, that's my water system. So what I'll do is I'll do a 10-gallon water change every 2 weeks. What I'll do is I got these buckets right here. They're 5-gallon buckets, so I'll fill them up with the fresh RODI water. Got my salt mix bucket right there. I'm low on salt. I got to get more salt. There's my quarantine tanks over there. There's nothing in them right now. I have this one still running just to keep the bacteria in it. Secret ammonia badge and all that on there. This is what a nice little quarantine set looks like. Got live rock and everything inside there. You don't need live rock in a quarantine tank, but I'd rather have a cycle quarantine tank so I don't have to stress out my fish or do water changes every single day because that's a pain in the butt. And I have another quarantine tank over here that looks like complete crap because I have not cleaned it up since I took the fish out. So we'll get to that another day though. Alright guys. Alright, you guys, I got my freshly made salt water from downstairs from the RO unit. It's all mixed up. Now I just got to test the salinity to make sure it matches the tank. I'm going to do that right now. Making sure the salinity of these buckets match the tank so I don't change the salinity or have a salinity swing. Well, that first one's a little low, so I gotta raise that. Let's check the second bucket. And the second bucket also is a little low, so I'll be right back. Gotta go add some more salt. Alright guys, I'm back. I just remixed the salt, added some more salt to see if this matches my tank. First bucket is good, 1.025, just like the tank. And I'm going to redo the second bucket. Second bucket, perfect, 1.025. And you want to make sure you do that whenever you're doing a water change. You want to make sure your freshly mixed salt water matches your tank. You want to make sure you do that. Also, make sure you turn off your pump, your protein skimmer. Make sure you turn all that off when you do a water change. Not everybody has to, but the majority of people are going to have to do that unless you have some crazy setup where you have everything set up, which I've seen people that keep all their pumps on when they do a water change, but I don't have a crazy setup. I have a basic, normal setup. You can keep your power heads on, your wave makers. You can keep those on to keep the flow moving in the tank, keep the oxygen in the tank while you're doing your water change. Also, whenever I do my whenever I mix my freshly made salt water, I put a heater in there. I put 2 power heads in there to get the salt mixed together and to get the temperature to match the temperature of the tank. You want to make sure you do that so you're not stressing your fish out or your corals. I don't really have corals. I just have 1 coral, so I'm not too worried about corals, but I still prepare myself whenever I do have corals to do the right thing. All right. Now I'm gonna take the water out with this cup. I have a siphon hose, but I'm terrible with it. I can't get the siphon to get the water out. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know you can just take it and fill it up and let it drop out and start your own siphon, but I'm horrible at doing it, so I'm using the cup for now until I figure that out. So I'm just gonna do it just like this, because usually whenever I do a water change, I'm going to stir the sand up, get everything stirred up, because I don't really have too much of a cleanup crew in here. And that's how I'm going to do it. But right now, I'm just going to use this cup to get 10 gallons of water out and then add that 10 gallons of fresh water back in. Also, when I do my water changes, I'm going to do them every 2 weeks on a Sunday. I have a schedule on my refrigerator whenever I need to do a water change. Consistency is the best way to go. Always be consistent. Be consistent. You don't gotta worry about messing up too much. I test my water levels every 2 weeks too. I test the nitrates, the pH, and the salinity. I test the salinity every couple days actually, but I test the nitrates and the pH every 2 weeks whenever I'm about to do a water change to see like where I'm at, to see the stability of the tank. I've been testing it, and the pH just recently dropped a little bit. I mean, this tank's been up and running for a month, so that's natural. Your pH drops naturally because of all the fish waste, and just pH naturally drops. So it's at 7.8 right now, which that's not bad. But this water change, it should go up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to finish up with this water change. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. Because I also got something else I want to talk about whenever I'm done with this water change. I'm not going to record this whole water change, by the way, just this first little bucket. I'll get this first 5 gallons of water out. Then I'll get right back with you guys. There's something else that I wanted to talk about that's going on right now in the tank. I guess you can't really see it, but the water in the buckets look pretty dingy. But you can't really tell with this camera. But yeah, that's the water I just took out. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the 10 gallons of freshly mixed salt water. Alright, let's get this camera set back. So now we're going to go ahead and add the freshly mixed salt water. I wish there was an easier way of doing this. This is the only way I knew. Babe, you want to go ahead and get that there and pause that video for me? On. Alright guys, water change is done. Whenever you're done with a water change, guys, make sure you plug your equipment back in. I messed up one time on one of my quarantine tanks and forgot to plug everything back in. Luckily, it was only 30 minutes that I forgot and I remembered, because all my pumps were off and there was no oxygen being produced inside the tank. So make sure you always plug this stuff back in whenever you're done. Please don't forget to do it. I have a little map right here of where everything goes and where everything's plugged in at. So it makes it easy for me to be like, okay, well this goes here and this goes there. That's cool. Do a little list of where everything is plugged in at so you remember it. It makes everything so much easier for yourself. Alright, that was a task trying to get that protein skimmer plugged back in. Good to go, guys. Made a little mess on my floor. Alright guys, that's the end of the water change. I have a towel that I usually have to wipe this off, but I don't know where it is. And I don't feel like wasting any more time, wasting you guys' time with this video. It might be boring to some of you guys, maybe not. But I'm not telling you guys this is how you should do your water change, but this is how I do my water change. And this is how most people probably do their water change. You can never go wrong by doing it that way. Make sure all the levels of your newly fresh mixed salt water match your tank, like your salinity and the temperature, not like the pH and all that, but just like the salinity and the temperature. Make sure that's good. Make sure the salt's all nice and mixed up. Get like little cheap power heads to mix your salt. You know, that's what I have. I have little cheap power heads and they do the job. Alright. So when this video is over, I'm going to finish cleaning this tank up. I'm not going to leave it looking like this. Alright guys. Everything's back on. Everything's running properly. Ayo-kayo. Now there's something else that I did want to talk about that's going on in my tank that I'm concerned about it, but I'm not freaking out about it. My powder blue just developed ick a couple days ago. He started doing the little flipping around, like rubbing off the sand and rubbing off the rocks. The Coral Beauty also showed signs. He don't have no signs anymore. I don't see no ick on him anymore, but the powder blue does. So what I've been doing is alright guys, so these are my thoughts on ick and how I think ick should be dealt with. There's 100 million different ways to deal with ick. Everybody has their own opinion on it. This is my opinion, this is what I think, and this is what I'm going to do. And shout out to Reefer Gil, because this is who I learned this from. He just recently subscribed me. I appreciate it. Thank you, man, for following me on my journey. So I watched his video about how to treat your fish if they develop ick in your reef tank. It involves ick attack, Kent marine C, which is a vitamin C to soak inside the food, and extreme garlic. I already been using extreme garlic on my fish. I always do, but I never leave it soaked that long. So this is what I've been doing. I took a page from his book a little bit, and I kind of do my own thing too. But I took a major page from his book though. I ordered Ick Attack, and I ordered the vitamin C, the Kent, made by Kent. So what I've been doing is I work at night from 10 o'clock to 6 in the morning. First thing I do whenever I get off work is I soak the food in garlic. Whatever food I'm feeding that day, I soak it in garlic. I put it in the fridge, I go to sleep. 6 hours later when I wake up, first thing I do when I wake up is I take it out the fridge, let it sit for a couple minutes, warm it back up, let it get the temperature back to normal so it's not all cold when they're eating it. I don't know if that affects anything or not, but that's just what I do. Alright, I put the food in there, they eat it. The Powder Blue, he's been eating, he's been doing good, but he has ick on him. The Coral Beauty had it, but he has no signs of it right now. That doesn't mean he doesn't have it. It could mean that it's dropped off and it's in the stage 2 phase. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert when it comes to ick, but I do know what I'm talking about a little bit, you know? And like I said, this is just my opinion, but if my fish get ick, I do have 2 quarantine tanks. I don't think you should pull your fish out and put them in a quarantine tank because that's just going to further stress out your fish, and that's a risk. Now, if you're an expert, which there's a lot of experts out there, they got like 20 years experience in dealing with saltwater fish, yeah, they're probably going to take their fish out and do that. I'm new, I'm a newbie. I don't want to take my fish out and kill them, so I believe in killing it from the inside out. So feeding your fish garlic, soaking everything in garlic, that vitamin C stuff, which I said Reefer Gill told me about, or he made a video about, and just continuing the same routine. The most important thing is don't put your hand in the tank. Don't try to do anything crazy. Don't just add a whole bunch of chemicals to your tank. Don't do that. That's not going to work. Just keep feeding your fish. If your fish is eating, they're happy. You know, it may eventually disappear. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work for everybody or this is even going to work for me, but I'm going to do a video here in a couple weeks to show you guys how it worked. So I'm hoping for the best right now, guys. But yeah, this is just my opinion. I believe in this. Continue to feed your fish. Feed, feed, feed. Stay on the same routine. If you see ick in your tank, you just wake up and you see that your fish have ick. Don't be like, oh my god, let me do a water change. Don't do that. Stay on the same routine. Like, today I was due for a water change, so I did a water change. 2 weeks from now, I'm going to do another water change. I'm not going to keep doing water changes thinking that ick's going to disappear. Once ick's in your tank, it's in your tank, guys. Alright, that's that. I also wanted to tell you guys, tell you guys about the gold nugget clown that I had in the acclimation box. I'm going to show you guys what happened whenever I let him out. I'm going to show you World War II.